Hey everyone, it's Melissa from Missy and Fit, and today I wanted to share with you one of my favorite simple salad recipes that we eat it all the time. It's a Tex Mex inspired salad, and I have some tips and things to make it really easy. And this is actually the perfect one. We do it a lot, especially in the summertime, because it's something that you can throw together really easily and it's not super heavy. And there's really great little tricks you can use in your grocery store, so it's not like one of those nights where you're putting it on the oven and doing all these things. Or you just put it on the oven on a very low temperature. So I'm going to tell you first is to make your own croutons for this. And you can buy croutons, but you have to be very careful again because anything processed, has chemicals in it, so you want to read the back of your box. But really making the croutons yourself, and it doesn't really take very long, and it adds so much. My kids absolutely love the croutons. So I just bought like a simple baguette, and this is the other half of it in my local grocery store, and I cubed up the bread already, and I'm making this for the 6 of us. So here's my cubed bread, and I'm just going to take one of my metal bowls, and I'm putting my cubed bread into here, and this is going to be the croutons. And the other half of the bread, I'll either slice it up and serve it with the salad. My kids would probably prefer the whole thing in there, but that's a lot of croutons. And I just take olive oil, and you do about 3 tablespoons, and I eyeball it. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 to kind of coat over the bread. And then you take chili powder. And this again, you only want about a tablespoon. You could do less if you don't want them too spicy. You can do more if you like a kick to your croutons. So I'm just going to eyeball it again because I've made this a bunch of times. And I put the chili powder, okay, and then I have a clove of garlic here that I just peeled off the skin, so I throw that in the bowl. And this is Parmesan cheese that I'm going to scrape in, and they say it's about a half a cup the recipe calls for. Again, I eyeball it because I don't like too much cheese on it, but just like a little bit. And just kind of coat it all over with my cheese grater. And you can see what that looks like. And I use my hands. You could use spoons if you want to toss, but I take my rings off and I get in there. And just kind of coat the olive oil, the chili powder, the Parmesan cheese, the clove of garlic is in there. Okay. And I'm just going to put it on a baking sheet that I covered with foil to make cleanup easy. And you just make sure that all gets on there. You spread them out. And you're going to toast them. I have it on a very low oven. It's only at 275, and you want to do 5 to 10 minutes. You want to keep a close eye on it, and once they get like toasted up, you're going to take them out of the oven and set them aside. It's cool. Okay, so the croutons are in the oven just for a few minutes to toast them up. And in the meantime, we're going to put the other ingredients together. So one of the things that I love about this is that we make the dressing in the bowl that we're going to serve the salad in. So again, it's one of those things that's like low maintenance in terms of a lot of dishes and pans. So to make the dressing, I have on the stove about 3 tablespoons. I just coated the pan of olive oil. And I'm going to add my chopped garlic. There's about 2 cloves of garlic again. You like more garlic or less, but it is a Caesar kind of dressing, so you want the garlic there. It does call for anchovies, which I'm going to say is optional. I've never used anchovies in it. I don't like anchovies. I'm one of those people. If you like anchovies, you can certainly melt anchovies in there. And it also involves red pepper flakes. So you just sprinkle the red pepper flakes, and again, I've made it enough times. I just kind of coat it. I'll put the exact measurements for the recipe in the video below. But I just kind of coat it because these have a kick, red pepper flakes, so the dressing does have a little bit of a kick. And we just have that on a low flame. I'll turn up a little bit actually. Not a flame, it's electric, but I grew up with that on a flame, so it's like I still think of it as a flame. And we just want to get that so that the garlic starts to get that light brown color. So that's half of the dressing. Our other half of the dressing involves the juice of 2 limes. So I just have my 2 limes here. So you're just squeezing that, and again, you could use bottled dressing, but I avoid bottled dressings because there's a lot of chemicals involved. You want to read your labels carefully. That's one of the biggest things everyone asks me about, like clean eating and how do I do it, and don't be tricked by labels and things that say all natural and things. That it doesn't take long to make your own dressing, and they usually require roughly the same ingredients. I highly recommend trying to make your own dressing. So this is just lime juice. And if you don't have a lime, here's one of my tips. Sometimes the limes aren't good at the store. I buy these little lemon and lime juices because they're great to keep in your fridge right on the door. Because sometimes you can't get a lime that's ripe, or you're like, oh, I forgot a lime. And you don't want to run all the way to the grocery store and you're in the middle of making dinner. And I have substituted this real 100% lime juice. Make sure it's just lime juice. It's not like a bunch of other junk. But the limes looked good at the store, so, or sometimes you do limes and you think they're going to be really juicy and then you get no juice out of it, so you have to add a little bit of the lime juice. I've done that too, like I'll use one lime and I'll add a little bit of that lime juice that I keep in the fridge. So that's a good one to keep in your refrigerator and keep it handy. Okay, so we have our lime juice. Just get a towel. Okay. So our limes are done. And one other tip, when you're going to purchase your limes in the grocery store, you want to make sure that the outside of the skin is smooth. It's not really bumpy, because when it has that smooth texture on the outside, you will find that that's where the juicier limes are. So when you're looking and they're all bumpy and hard like that, don't buy those. Put those back and look for the ones that have like a smoother outside skin, and you'll get a juicier lime. So those are my little tips on limes when you're purchasing. Dijon mustard, something I love to keep in my pantry. It's a great one. I use it for several different kinds of dressings. You need a tablespoon, so again, I eyeball it. Okay. And Worcestershire sauce, again, read your labels. Oh, there's our croutons. Let me just check on those. Yeah, I would say I'm gonna give them 2 more minutes to just toast up a little bit more. I'm gonna add some Worcestershire. Again, I eyeball it, but I will put exact measurements because I know some people like exact measurements, but I make this one all the time. And then again, pepper to taste, and salt. And what's great about making your own dressing, you're controlling the amount of salt that goes into it, because there's a lot of hidden sodium when you buy pre-bottled dressings. Okay, and we're going to get a whisk and just whisk that together. Okay, and let me just check on our garlic. Not quite yet. That should be done in a minute. Okay, so the croutons are done. They're out of the oven. They're just like a light golden brown, nice and crispy, so we put those aside to cool. The garlic and the red pepper is starting to bubble up, so that should be done any minute. In here, we have our lime juice, we have Dijon mustard, Worcestershire, salt and pepper, and I did dried cilantro. You can also use fresh cilantro. I was out of fresh cilantro, I forgot to pick that up, but I keep dried cilantro in the pantry, and we just kind of whisk that together and put that in there. And then, this is just about done. We're going to be adding the olive oil, garlic, and the red pepper flakes to this. We're going to whisk that together, and then our dressing is in the pan, which is great, which is in the bowl already, and we're going to mix everything together from there. Okay, so our garlic and red pepper flakes are done. I'm just going to put those into the salad dressing and whisk that all together. And there is our dressing. So you can see that right in there. And what's nice is it's already in your bowl, you're all set. So, one of the tips that I'm going to share with you is, instead of cutting up the romaine lettuce, because I know we don't all have time, you buy the bags of already cut up romaine, hearts of romaine lettuce. Tip, when you are buying these bags of lettuce, make sure they're flat. See how this is kind of flat? Because what happens is, when they're sitting in the grocery store for a long time, the veggies inside give off gases, and you'll see when you go, you'll see like some bags are puffier when you're in your produce section. Avoid the puffy bags, put them back. It's funny, when I was picking these out, and they do it, they put those ones up front, dig to the back, and you'll get your nice flat bag, and it will last in your refrigerator longer, because there's nothing worse than thinking, oh, I have a bag of salad in the fridge, and you open it up and you're like, this is gross and disgusting and no one wants to eat it. So look for your flat bags. So that is my tip on getting the lettuce. So this is something already washed, ready to go. I bought 2 bags, especially based on the amount of dressing. Sometimes you might want to chop it smaller. If you like a really super chopped salad, you might want to make it even more chopped than this. That's up to you. But this is one of those great time savers, is that your lettuce is all done. You have the romaine lettuce in there, ready to go. And what I did for this particular one is you can grill chicken. Okay, you can certainly do that. But for this one, I wanted to make it really super simple. And I bought rotisserie chicken when I was at Costco. And I already have my chicken taken off the rotisserie, and I'm adding that into our salad. So I don't have to worry about cooking the chicken. It's already done for me. Really easy, ready to go. So we're adding our chicken. And then the final thing you want to add is an avocado, because it just makes a really great, it's a really healthy fat to add in there. You could add a second one if you're really into avocado. It depends. A lot of them didn't look that ripe. I only bought one. I normally probably would buy two because we love avocado in our family. And it's a really healthy fat, really great. And we're going to cut that up and put that in there as well. But that's the last thing I do, because you know an avocado, when you open it, it's like it browns in 2 seconds. So you want to put that in there. And I don't know if you guys know how to cut an avocado, but you kind of slice into the skin and cut it lengthwise. It's one of the things that I didn't always know. And you open it up like that, and you use your knife to grab the pit. Sometimes it comes out, there it goes, really easy. And you just grab a spoon and you scoop out the avocado half, and you're done, and just have to chop it up into little square pieces that are going to end up, turn those over. They're easier to chop that way. Just going to chop those up. Okay, so the avocado is all chopped up into little chunks, and I'm just going to put that into the salad. It's one of the last things you do because it does brown up. I'm just going to break that apart a little bit. And then we have our croutons over here on the side. Now remember, we baked it with that piece of garlic. So I'm just going to pick that out. Remember that, because otherwise somebody will be eating a giant hunk of garlic and they will not be happy with you. So you just take your croutons, which are now cool. They're nice and toasted up. Your homemade croutons, which are so delicious, you guys. This is like my kid's favorite part of the salad. And then you toss it all up, and you can add a little bit of extra Parmesan cheese. So this is why you want a really big bowl, because the dressing's on the bottom, so you want to toss it up, get all your greens, you have your protein. And the rotisserie chicken is really a great secret, because you don't have to grill or bake chicken. You can just already have it. It's the best way to make an easy meal. It's pretty healthy. You made your own dressing, your own croutons, and you know exactly what is in it. So that is my simple salad, and you can serve it with the other half of your bread. So here's the salad. I'm going to work on tossing it a little bit more so the dressing coats it evenly, and enjoy.